Well, hello everybody, back to the workshop. This is Happy New Year to you all, by the way. I do hope it's going to be a good one, better than last year at least. I can't see it myself, but anyway, we won't get into that. First, I'd like to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Yeah, you joining is much appreciated by myself, and it makes me feel like it's worthwhile standing in a freezing cold garage. I mean, I've got heaters on, standing in a freezing cold garage doing this because it's yeah, well, what's the date today? 10th of January. We've had some snow around in Lincolnshire, not a lot, but it has been cold, and it's cold today. It's only just started to thaw. So anyway, so what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about something called a boost coil. I've got a script down here, yeah, that I'm going to be referring to on and off. If I stick it just there, I might be able to see it. And also an excerpt from the AP I've got here, and I'll just put that up there for a few seconds while I carry on waffling. So what is a boost coil, you say? A boost coil is one of these little dealies, yeah? The idea is, once again, 24 volts in, 9 kilovolts out, yeah? That's all there is to it. This is old technology, dates back from, the 1800s, you know. Faraday and all that lot were experimenting with this kind of thing, electrocuting themselves as well as other things trying to do it. So the reason behind them is, yeah, we're talking magneto systems here now. So in some magneto systems, you know, a magneto works, you've got to spin it, you've got a coil of wire running through magnetic flux or magnetic field, if you like. That's inducing a voltage into the coil. You've got a set of points that opens right at this right moment, and bingo, you've got a high voltage coming out. That pops your spark plug, and your engine goes chug, 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 chug. Now, magnetos like to be spun at a reasonable speed, yeah, because you've got to get the build up. The faster you spin them, the quicker and the higher the build up of your voltage is. Excuse me. So, with stationary engines and old tractors, that kind of thing, they have what's called an impulse magneto, which has a spring mechanism at the front of it. And as you're turning the engine over, sometimes you hear it go click, click, click. Right? And what it is, it's holding the magneto up to a point, and then it's flicking it forwards. Yeah, and that flick forwards is the impulse to get you to produce or to get the magneto to produce the high voltage. Like I say, you find them on stationary engines, all kinds of things, not used nowadays because you don't need them, because we don't have magnetos nowadays. Well, dragsters do. If you watch some dragster videos, they still use magnetos, bloody great big things. Anyway, I digress. So these are only used, these boost coils are only used for starting. Yeah, you don't, once the engine's running, you don't need them. So if you can imagine, it's a cold day today. I think it's above freezing out there now, but only just. So your oil would be thick. So you crank your engine over and it's going, Well, that is not, you're not spinning the magneto fast enough to get it to kick in. So especially, you know, on big engines like the Merlin's I've just changed. When she's warm, it's not a problem. She'll spin quite nicely, but when she's cold, she does. You can see it on a cold day, she struggles. So what you do, you fire one of these up, and that then gives a permanent 9 kilovolts into the magneto to get it going. Not to get the magneto going, but to get the sparks out to the plugs. Once the engine fires and starts to pick up, they then turn these off because you don't need them now. Yeah, so they're only used for a couple of minutes. Each engine has one, and they're on the inboard magneto inboard inlet magneto. Yeah. So you only need them for that. Once the engine's running, you just turn them off. Once the engine's hot, it's not a problem. She'll start at right as rain. So all they're there is to give a high voltage boost at starting RPM when everything's cold and horrible. So how does it work? So we're going to see some more of my marvellous graphics now. Aren't you lucky? Okay, and a 1, 2, 3, and away we go. So how do they work? Okay, as with my previous vid, I'll take it as read that you understand about magnetic fields. So if we start with a basic relay, yeah, and when we apply power, the contacts close, making a circuit. Or we can reverse the contacts so that when the contacts close, you open the circuit. Okay, so if we alter things up a bit and change things around, and we have the contacts in line with the supply, when we apply a voltage, the point's open. All of a sudden there's no voltage there across the coil, so the point's closed again. Then they open again and they close again. This thing buzzes away. By now you should be seeing a little animation. Hopefully it worked. So you're now buzzing away. So if we now add a second winding to this, yeah, with a lot more turns on it, and we energize the circuit again, what we're going to get is, with this magnetic field rising and falling all the time, it's according to the sheet of paper here, it's 500 times a second this thing buzzes at. So at 500 times a second, you've got the magnetic field is rising and falling 500 times a second. This is going to induce a very large voltage into the other coil, and that is then fed out, and you get your 9 kilovolts. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to be said. I think that's yeah, that's all there is. It's very simple. I mean, you've seen the diagrams I've just put up. It couldn't be more simple. It's a very basic analog high voltage generator. Off this, it takes 24 volts DC nominal, between 12 to 29 it says here, and at 2 to 2.5 amps, and produces 9 kilovolts at 500 sparks per second. Continuous rating is 5 minutes. So yeah, by the time the engine started, you turn it off. So anyway, inner fold cobblers from me. Let's see it in action to the power supply here. That's going in the back there. You've got your HC connection out, and you've got a spark gap here. Okay, so when I turn this on, yeah, we're going to get a nice spark. Try and zoom this in for you guys so that you can see it. So there we go. Have a nice spark. Oodles of fun now. Yeah. So there you go. A boost coil. We have 4 of them on a Lancaster. Most large aircraft have them. I believe the B-25 has them. But I haven't seen them yet. Right then, that was interesting, wasn't it? And a simple one. It's not, hopefully this is going to be nice and quick. So yeah, once again, old technology, very little to go wrong. Yeah, the points burn out occasionally. We've had non-break at the Heritage Centre since I've been there, and they do get used quite a lot, so they're obviously stupidly reliable. And I don't know what more to say about it. It's a nice, simple system. So that's about it from me. Take care in the cold out there. Keep warm, stay safe. No point freezing your arse off if you don't have to. I've got 2 heaters on in here today, it's that cold. So yeah, stay cool, stay calm, comment, rate, subscribe. Yeah, like I say, once again, all you new subscribers, thank you very much. It is much appreciated. It gives me urge to do more, let's put it that way. And so, having said that, bye for now, and I'll catch you all again on the next one. Toodaloo.